Hello everyone. The purpose of this video is to take a look at some technology that can help improve your writing. The nice thing about writing is that no matter how well we write or how much we struggle with writing, we can always write better. I use this technology to help me with my writing. In fact, I can't even imagine not using it. So we're going to look at Microsoft Word first of all and look at some of the functionality that you can add to Word to make it more powerful than it is by default. And then we're going to look at a couple of online software downloads that can help us catch writing and proofreading errors. So first of all, let's take a look at Word. Now, all of you are familiar with Word, and you know that by default it spell checks as you enter text into your document, and it does some autocorrects. But we're going to look at functionality that you can turn on that will kick it up a notch and help it be an even more powerful grammar and style checking for you. Word is actually a decent grammar check if you turn on all of its functionality. So we're going to come up here to File and Options, and over here we're going to select Proofing on the left side. And when we check this, you'll notice that it indicates some of the things that are turned on by default. If you come down here, you'll see that I have grammar and spelling, grammar and style checked. But if you click, you'll see that grammar only is here, and grammar only is the default. So you need to come in here and change this to grammar and style. And one other thing that I want you to change is to select Readability Statistics. This is not clicked by default. So let's look at these settings once we've changed this to grammar and style. So here we'll see that there are a lot of grammar and style things that you can select to turn on. I have most of them turned on. I don't have contractions and I don't have passive sentences turned on. I know when I'm using those, and if I use them, I want to. But for the most part, I would suggest that you turn on all of these functions. So once you've clicked to select these functions, just say OK. So again, on this menu, you're going to click Grammar and Style, and you're going to select Readability Statistics, and then we'll say OK. So once you've done that and you start typing in Word, you should find that it is giving you a lot more suggestions for things that you could improve in your writing. In some cases, it will simply highlight the error and won't tell you how to fix it. In other cases, it will tell you how to fix it. So remember, I asked you to turn on Readability Statistics. I just want to show you what that can do. So I have here, this is actually a sample case for your case project number 3 that you'll see later on in the class. Readability statistics is something that some of you will find monumentally interesting, and some of you will go, okay. But I do want to show it to you and suggest that you try it once or twice just so you'll understand what it does. So the way we get to readability statistics is that we have to run spell check. Even though spell check runs as we enter text into Word, we have to run it at the end. So we can find it here, we can find it on F5, but I've already run a spell check on this. If it had errors in it, it would highlight the errors over here. And when we had finished spell check, this readability statistics box would come up. So the readability of a document means how easy or hard is it for the audience to read and understand. And readability is measured by two things. One thing is the length of the sentences that you write, and the other thing is the length of the words, or the syllable intensity of the words. How many syllables does each word have? There are two primary reading ease scales. One is the Fleisch-Kincaid, which Word uses. Another one is the Gunning-Fogg Index. So what we really want to look at, see, this tells us here average sentences per paragraph, words per sentence, characters per word, that sort of thing. But what we really want to look at is to come down here and say, first of all, passive sentences, I have 2%. Typically, it's best not to write much in the passive voice unless we're intentionally trying to do that. Fleisch reading ease. Now, this is a little counterintuitive. It goes from 0 to 100, and the higher the score, the easier the document is to read. It would seem as if it might be the opposite, but the higher the score, the easier the document is to read. So 100% or 100 is the easiest possible reading level. And then here we'll see the grade level. The Fleisch-Kincaid measures from grade level 1 through 4 years of college. So you'll see that the document that I have here is pretty much smack in the middle of the 0 to 100, so it's half on either side, and then it's at a grade 9.5, so somewhere between a freshman and a sophomore in high school. So your first thought might be, well, you ought to kick your writing up a little bit. That's pretty easy for college juniors and seniors to be reading. I included a document, a link to a website document here in the Week 0 section where this video is that explains readability statistics. It's a very interesting document, and it suggests that most newspapers and magazines and most read written on about a 7th, 8th, maybe 9th grade level. So if you're writing to a technical audience and you're using technical language, they're probably going to understand it. But for writing for a general audience, probably this is approximately at the right reading ease and grade level. I used to do textbook publishing with McGraw-Hill Book Company, and when I would send them a manuscript, my editor would write back and say, you're writing on too high a level. You need to make your sentences shorter, use smaller words. So I would need to go back through and do that. So again, I would suggest to you when you write your first case project, which will indeed be case project 3, as far as writing something that has this kind of text in it, that you would run it through the readability. So again, what you have to do is first of all select readability and statistics in Word. Then when you finish your document, you have to let it run through spell check, so review, spelling and grammar, or F5. And once it has completely run through the spell check, you'll see these readability statistics, which I hope will be interesting to you. So that's the things that you can do to Word to kick it up a notch and get it to help you more than it's helping you by default. The next thing we're going to look at is a couple of online downloads that will help you write better. Truly, I cannot imagine not using them. One is Grammarly.com. That's the older of the two. The other is Ginger.com. I'm far more familiar with Grammarly.com. Ginger.com is newer, and I've just started to try it. You can download these to any browser. They live on the browser that you download them to, and you can delete them if you don't like them. So let's just take a look at Grammarly. Now, you'll see this says add to Firefox. That's because I'm on the Firefox browser. If I were on Chrome or Safari or Edge, it would say add to whatever browser I was on. And all you have to do is download it. And as you can see, it lives right up here on the browser. This is giving you an example of what it will do. This is an absolutely free subscription. So it's showing you up here, you can get synonyms. It'll correct sound-alike words. Here's its and its. If you use those incorrectly, it will highlight it in red. You hover over it and it'll tell you how to change it. It truly is awesome. It checks anything that you do online. So it will check your discussion forum post. It will check email as long as you're using a web-based email. It will check social media posts. Anything that you write online, it will check. Ginger works the same, so it's ginger.com. Ginger is a Chrome product, a Google product. It's fairly new. I'm just starting to use it, so I don't have a good comparison between it and Grammarly. Now, Grammarly and Ginger the same don't work on Microsoft Office products. They only work on online writing. Now, if you're using Word Online, they would probably work. And you can get a premium subscription where they will work. I don't like the premium subscription. I tried it, but it seems to me that it highlights too much. It highlights things that don't need to be highlighted. To me, it was more confusing than it was useful, so I actually stopped my premium subscription. One of the ways that you can get around it not checking your Word documents other than using Word Online, which doesn't have the functionality of the Microsoft Office software itself. One of the ways you can get around that is to write your document in Microsoft Office, copy paste it into a discussion forum box, let it check it, and then make the corrections and paste it back into your Word document. So that's one way to get around it. But anyway, I would highly, highly suggest that you absolutely add the grammar and style and the readability functionality to Word, and that you try Grammarly and try Ginger. If I see errors in your writing, particularly in your discussion forum posts, that I know Grammarly or Ginger would have caught, and you just didn't bother to download it, then I'm going to wonder about whether or not you want to do the best writing that you can do. So, again, I look forward to working with you, and I look forward to reading your awesome writing.